As you probably know, Brexit did not happen immediately after the Brexit referendum in 2016. There were exhausting negotiations between the UK and the EU, first about the exit of the UK, and then about the future relationship between the EU and the UK. After the official Brexit on January 31st in 2020, where the UK officially left the EU and with it the Parliament, so Nigel Farage's seat, for example, there was a transitional period until December 31st in 2020 to implement the new relationship. There, of course, were some longer transitional periods for some areas, but this was the main one. And people are talking a lot about the level of preparation for Brexit on different sides, or especially in one case, the lack of it. So in a few of my evening videos, I will give you an overview about the extent of preparations by different countries involved, and of course the UK and the EU. The UK video is already there. And today I will tell you about the preparations in Czechia. Czechia, like other European member states, European Union member states of course, engaged in preparations to mitigate the potential effects of Brexit on its economies, but also the citizens, the trade relations with the UK. And I want to talk about some key aspects of Czechia's Brexit preparations today. The Czech government established a dedicated Brexit team within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to oversee the preparations. The team worked closely with other relevant ministries and institutions to ensure a coordinated approach. Czechia developed contingency plans to address various potential scenarios arising from Brexit, and these plans aim to minimize disruptions in trade, protect the rights of Czech citizens residing in the UK, and maintain a stable relationship with the UK. Czechia prepared for the possibility of a no-deal Brexit by enhancing customs procedures and ensuring compatibility with the EU's customs union. The government provided information and support to businesses involved in trade with the UK, encouraging them to prepare for potential changes in customs regulations and also trade procedures. And Czechia took measures to protect the rights of Czech citizens living in the UK and UK citizens living in Czechia. These efforts included information campaigns to inform citizens about potential changes to their residency requirements and the need to obtain necessary permits or documentation. Czech authorities worked to ensure the stability and the continuity of financial services in the wake of Brexit as well. They engaged in discussions with financial institutions to address any potential risks and maintain a smooth transition. And the Czech government provided information and guidance to citizens and businesses through various channels, including websites, helplines, and informational campaigns. This aimed to ensure that individuals and organizations were well informed about the potential impacts of Brexit and how to navigate the changes. Czechia focused on addressing the potential impacts of Brexit on specific sectors. For example, in the agriculture and food industry, measures were taken to ensure that exports to the UK continued smoothly and that Czech producers complied with new regulations. In the automotive sector, which has close ties with UK manufacturers, Czechia aimed to maintain stable trade relations and mitigate any disruptions in the supply chain. And Czechia worked to align its legislation and regulations with the changes brought about by Brexit. This included updating laws related to trade, customs, and regulatory standards to ensure compliance with new arrangements between the EU and the UK. And of course, Czechia actively participated in discussions and negotiations at the EU level to shape the Union's approach to Brexit. The government cooperated with other member states to ensure a unified stance on key issues such as citizens' rights, trade, and future EU-UK relations. And Czechia sought to establish bilateral agreements with the UK to address specific areas of concern. And these agreements covered areas such as social security, healthcare, and mutual recognition of professional qualifications to protect the rights and interests of citizens. And as I already said, the Czech government launched public awareness campaigns to inform citizens, businesses, and relevant stakeholders about the potential implications of Brexit. And this included providing guidance on topics such as travel, residency, and trade procedures, ensuring that individuals and organizations were well prepared for the changes. And Czechia maintained diplomatic channels with the UK to discuss and negotiate key issues arising from Brexit. The government engaged in dialogue to address concerns related to trade, security, operation, and of course, as I already said, the rights of citizens. Before the end of the transition period on December 31st in 2020, Brexit preparations were considered highly important for all affected countries, and that means both within the European Union and the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, not everyone has prepared as well as others, and that's another reason why I'm doing this little series, to show you who prepared how for Brexit then. And I have to say one more thing about, because it came up in the comments already, by saying Czechia. First of all, it's much harder to pronounce than Czech Republic, by the way. So that's why I'm always emphasizing it that much when I use the word. But that is what they prefer to hear nowadays. That's a decision the country made, and that's a decision I respect. And so, of course, I could still say Czech Republic, but they prefer that the country is called Czechia, and then I'm doing that in my videos. And talking about videos, if you want to see the next one, it's right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.